Everyone, Engelpino here. Thank you so much for joining me. So I actually have the pleasure of being able to talk this week specifically about the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo that was launched last week. So I had the chance to play it this weekend. I downloaded on Tuesday, but unfortunately just with how busy things are, I finally got to it on Saturday and it was awesome. I did really enjoy it. I know that there's going to be a lot of folks that are with any remake. I think there's going to be a lot of controversy surrounding how the creators went ahead and did things and all that, but I do want to say just this is going to be a positive point of view in my perspective, and while I don't necessarily think that you need to trust me, I just wanted to go ahead and share my thoughts. I know that I have a controller here and I have a sword that kind of resembles the Buster Sword maybe a little bit, just because it's a big sword. It's actually Eddard Stark's sword. May he rest in peace. I think that my passion behind the game, but also my history involved in it when it came at a time when I was unfortunately bullied in school. So a lot of my friends who were those that were in the game. So Tifa, Barrett, Aerith, all these folks, Cloud of course. These are some of the most memorable characters, at least in my identity and my history, just because of how much time I spent with them. And another big piece of that was just the fact that I'm just a huge fan of it. I spent so much time playing it when it first came out, but so much time years after just kind of revisiting the world and just seeing how a lot of it really aged fairly well. So what I want to do was, in honor of Final Fantasy VII, I wanted to go ahead and go through the 7 reasons why I think you would be excited about this game. So first up is the music. So I actually, this was first on my list because right when you start off the game, it starts with the main theme of Final Fantasy VII, and just I stood there. I sat there and really just kind of listened to it and just enjoyed it and saw just how well they were able to go ahead and blend the original music with some of the little contemporary flares that they put into it, just to make it even more dramatic, even better. And I do think that they did a great job. And it's not just in the opening theme, but it's just the music throughout the entire demo. The whole sequence of the Mako reactor setting, just being able to kind of relive again just the experience that I had, 23 years ago, but also just making it a little bit more, oh well, wow, it grew up and so did I, and it's just phenomenal. So you'll get to really experience that and really see how well they really guide you through this game with the music. So yeah, I mean, the music is just so good. Oh, man, yes, number 1, love the music. Number 2 would be just the idea of keeping Sephiroth somehow connected and involved, and just how much of a threat he is. There's a couple sequences that come to mind. One right at the beginning when Aerith takes a look, and it goes back to just how well the music really plays out, but just how she's kind of running from something in the beginning and seeing the power of Sephiroth kind of stalking her or following her or whatever it was, to go ahead and set that tone. And on top of that, there was it was when Cloud was having a flashback. I think it was right before he planted the bomb. He saw a feather, and the thing is too, I think with a lot of newcomers, they're not going to be able to maybe see this right away unless they've read a lot about Final Fantasy, or if they've had some sort of friend that has told them, or even played other games that have Sephiroth or a lot of other Final Fantasy characters involved. But there's just this subtle atmosphere that's built up by the music and a lot of these small little additions to the game that make you just realize, crap, Sephiroth is here and he is going to mess some stuff up. So just bringing that depth and that weight of Sephiroth into the demo was a terrific addition, and I'm really glad they were able to do that, and I hope that's in the final product of the game. Number 3. So I'm a big fan of seeing the plans of a lot of just the depth of plans in a lot of villains, and I don't think when we go ahead and see the Shinra Corporation, we see, especially in the first part, at least I don't remember them being so heavily involved with the destruction of the Mako reactor, as well as just letting Avalanche be able to do its own thing. It was really neat to see that. To see that a lot of this stuff was planned out, and it wasn't just something that, oh well, Avalanche is just that good. And I'm no dogging on Avalanche, but just the fact that that they were watching them and planning for this to happen so that they can go ahead and not necessarily retaliate. I'm imagining what they're going to do is do, I think they did this part in the first game with one of the sequences right before Cloud falls to Aerith's church, but almost saying Avalanche is a terrorist organization. It shows this side of like this almost like demonic political side of like, okay, well, Avalanche is going to blow this up anyway, let's make it even worse. And really maybe paint the pictures to really have that public distrust with this specific group. And I thought that was well executed and well done. And it's something that, again, I didn't really expect, and I don't know if it was supposed to be in the original game. I don't think it is for the most part, but really showing that insidious nature of it, it's just wow. I really did enjoy that. So, number 4. The music in the beginning was really great. I think one of the things that came along with it was just the reworked opening and seeing just how much to the original the developers are trying to keep it. And I know it's a balancing game. Not everyone's going to be happy. I get that. But being able to see that sequence, for the most part, be the exact same as in the original game was incredible. And there's a part where I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it, but just when right before the title flashes, you see the comet flash and just bursts, and the music, of course, again, the music just drives this point home that, wow, this is really happening. To me, it's been well done into incorporating that nostalgia aspect and that flashback aspect, and just a lot of the different emotions that I felt when I first played the game kind of came up again. They just did such a great job with that, and really got me excited to play the game, because I couldn't let go of the controller after that, because it was, yeah, well done, Square, well done. Number 5. One of the things that I really like most about stories in video games and movies is character development. And I think, honestly, one of the reasons I did like that was my experience specifically with Final Fantasy VII when I was young. And liking to see that arc and see how things have changed and how their personalities have changed, how the world has changed around them, and just interacted with them, and seeing that, the depth that they've created for a lot of other characters. The voice acting, I think, has been really great, and seeing their little quirks and personalities, Wedge being kind of goofy in that sense and innocent in a lot of ways. Also, seeing Cloud wrestling with this idea of why is he here. You can kind of see that there and see what his potential other motivations are. Again, you know, with there being able to be voice acting and a lot of the nuances with these graphical improvements, it's really delivering this vision that Square Enix now is really looking to do, and maybe have always intentionally wanted to do in the past. Seeing that has been really awesome. I think that the interactions that you have with characters like Jesse and Biggs and Wedge and Barrett, they really come alive in this game. Before playing this demo, I was thinking, you know, one of the things I'm going to miss is really having this voice in my head that I've already made up for these characters. There's a replacement of this inner voice that you kind of create, and this inner personality in a way that you kind of create for these characters. And sometimes they do it well, sometimes they don't. In this case, I think they did really well. Did really like, there's a scene in the elevator where he kind of goes off and he really shows how passionate he is about the planet and about the Mako exploitation. And I thought that's important. That never really came through, I think, as much in the original game. Again, if I remember correctly, I might have to play it again before this one comes out. To kind of stress this idea of this is exactly why he's the leader of the Avalanche, because he believes in these things. So I really, that they did really well on developing these characters and really seeing them come alive in this game. Number 6. So this is probably where a lot of our experiences lay, is just the reworked battle system. Now, I'm sure this is going to be one of these things where a lot of folks are not going to be sure about whether or not they're going to execute it pretty well. I don't think it necessarily needed to be completely reworked like it did, but I think they did a great job in really, again, making that immersion of the of a character and really getting them involved with being able to run around. And you guys, like, again, you kind of don't see the full character or the full motions or the full capabilities of a lot of these enemies. And when you see Cloud, or when you see Barret, or you see the boss battle, the Scorpion boss at the end, being able to have them move around the way they are really just shows how much power, or how much not so much power they have, but also how much of a threat they are in the game or in that universe. With seeing this type of movement, or seeing the size and the scope and everything and all their abilities, it really gives, again, weight to these characters and weight to these enemies. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with a lot of the other things that come through, whether it's with summons or with other huge boss fights. I'm really excited to see that. But again, it's that full immersion that I feel like when I was younger, I really wanted to be immersed in the world. You know, these are things that I really wanted from Midgar, from these enemies, and from these characters fighting these enemies. I think the battle system has been refined into where it's obviously more beautiful, but the freedom of you being able to run around and have be able to do fire spells, or be able to give items, and placement is important. And it's not just a line battle, it's going to be one where it's very much involved in you being able to position your character the right way. It adds, again, that extra layer on top of the original battle system. Yeah, it's not really there as much as a lot of other aspects of the game, but I think they did rework it fairly well to make that immersion happen and have a lot of people be able to be interested and excited for each of these battles that come up. Okay, and number 7. I really enjoyed the callbacks to the original. I think they did an excellent job making sure that a lot of the set pieces are kind of the same. Again, the opening is a really great example. After Jesse and Biggs open up that gate, and right before you enter, looking forward and seeing the camera pan to showing like the original artwork of that scene, and I thought that was just so cool. Again, just the music is another callback, another reason why I like it. But yeah, I just think it's so well done. Made it feel so I'm playing Final Fantasy VII. This is a new remake, but you know, they're slowly putting these little things here and there to make you realize, yeah, it's not just a remake. This is at its core Final Fantasy VII. So anyway, that's all for me. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you find some sort of value in my playthrough in it. If you are interested in playing it, please, I don't know if it's on the Xbox Store. I imagine it is, since it's on the PlayStation. Download it, it's free. I want to hear kind of your opinions on what you thought when you went ahead and went through the whole sequence. It's about, I think it was about an hour to go ahead and play through it. So definitely take that time, especially if you're a hardcore Final Fantasy VII fan. And yeah, definitely recommend it. So thanks so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your week, and I am looking forward to connecting with you guys again later this week. I don't know, we'll see what comes out, but I'm sure there's something. All right, take care.